or more. 3 times every Saturday. Good morning.
You're all bright and shiny here this morning. I have a question for you. You see that? Anyone know what that is? What is it? A fire helmet. Who wears this helmet? A what? A chief, because it says so right there, right? It's also white, and that means something too. I used to wear this hat. Back a long, long time ago. In fact, I would put this hat on and some special clothes on. I even went in burning buildings with it, and it protected me. I was glad I had it. Well, I want to talk to you about fire today. I learned a lot of lessons about fire, but I learned one really important lesson when I was about 10 or 11 years old. Anybody 10 or 11 here? Okay, there's a couple there. Okay. What grade are 10 and 11 years old in? What grade are you in? 6th grade? 5th grade? All right. 4th grade? All right. Well, that's how old I was. That was a long time ago. It's longer than I want to think about. But I love to go to summer camp. Now, I didn't live in California. I lived in Oregon at the time. And so I didn't get to go to Pine Springs Ranch. I went to a place called Big Lake up in Oregon. And my sister, who was a little bit older than me, she went to teen camp the week before. And my parents had this brilliant idea that instead of driving up on Sunday for me to go to camp and to pick up my sister, we would go up on Friday and spend the weekend camping across the lake from the summer camp. And so we did that. We got there, we set up camp, we pitched our tent, and what else do you do when you set up camp? Build a fire. Now I need to love you. Why don't you come up here, you two? Why don't you guys come? You come too? Yeah. You guys, I have some wood here. Why don't you build a fake fire here, right in front of the middle here, so we'll have a fire for you guys can do that there real quick. So we built a fire, and we put our chairs around it, and we were all ready that evening. What do you think we were going to do that evening? Do what?
What?
Did you hear her? What do you do when you sit around a campfire? You roast marshmallows. Now, we can't have fire in here, can we? But I have some fake fire here. You guys can add this to that. So it looks like there's fire coming out of it there. Yeah, we'll just make it look good there. We'll have there's our fire. And so, we sat on the campfire and we pulled out marshmallows. There they are. What do you do with marshmallows at a campfire? You roast them. So we pulled them out and we found these sticks. I happen to have a stick right here. Put them on.
Marshmallow boys.
Put them on there. And they're sticky. They really stick to the stick, don't they? So they don't fall off. You can't just put one on. You gotta do more than one, right? And as the fire is burning, you get real close to the fire. What happens if you get too close? We don't want that, do we? So hold over the fire and you turn it. And what color does that white turn? Crispy, golden brown. Black is the dinner fire. And so that's what I was doing. I was sitting there under the stars, around the campfire, roasting my marshmallow, and it was turning nice and golden brown. And And the inside was all soft and gooey. And uh-oh, something happened though. He got too close to the fire, and what did it do? It caught on fire. And I real quick pulled it up so I could blow it out. But I learned something called inertia. This is a science lesson now. Newton's first law says that when something is moving in a line, it's going to keep going in the same place until something stops it. Now, when I pulled it out of the fire, what made the marshmallows move? The stick did, right? But as it got out here, they were soft and gooey inside, and those marshmallows didn't stop when the stick stopped. They kept right on going, and guess where they went? They flew off and landed, this flaming marshmallow landed right here in my forehead. Wham! Now, what would you do if a flaming marshmallow landed on your forehead? What would you do? Would you say, oh, ouch? Or what would you say? Would you scream and holler? You're too tough. I did. I screamed, I yelled, and this flaming thing was sticking to my forehead and it was still burning. And I was screaming and I was jumping around. And my dad was trying to get a hold of me and pull it off. But then the fire went out, unfortunately. But it was still hot and sticky and it stuck to my skin and my skin was burned. And then it got kind of hard and you couldn't peel it up, couldn't pull it off because it was stuck to my sore skin up there. My folks said, this is something bigger than we're going to take care of. So guess what they did? We'd all hop in the car and we'd go around the lake to the summer camp, where they had a camp nurse. And we found her, and she got out all the right stuff and peeled all the little pieces of marshmallow out and put a big white bandage over it and sent me home. And us back across to the other side. I was glad she was there. The next morning, guess what everybody in camp wanted to know? What was all that screaming and noise going on? Well, there I was with this big white bandage on my forehead. And everybody knew. You know what one of the worst things was? One of the worst things was, when I went to summer camp the next week, I couldn't go swimming. I couldn't swim in the lake. I couldn't get it wet. And that was really disappointing. Well, that burning marshmallow reminds me of a much bigger fire. A fire that Pastor Darren's going to be talking about today. One in the Bible where 3 young men were thrown into a blazing fire. Kind of like, but they didn't have a fire hat like I did there. But what did they have? That's right. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't panic when things got hot. They didn't run around and scream like I did when I got the flaming marshmallow on my forehead. They stood there because they knew what? That God was with them. In fact, he wasn't only with them, he showed up right there in person to protect them and walk with them through the flames. Sometimes your life's going to throw some burning marshmallows at you. Maybe not literally, but there's going to be unexpected, painful times. But just like those 3 Hebrews, you know that what? God is with you. And he'll protect you. Isaiah 43:2 says, when you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you aflame, because God is with you. Thank you.